so far. So we'll wait a few, see what happens. Um, Hopefully we won't pixelate too much today, or at all, hopefully, because yesterday, apparently, during our members live, we had the problem of my camera pixelated quite a few times. I don't know if the internet was acting up or not. My daughter came home from her training soon after and said there was a bad car wreck down below. So, just a second, I've got a phone call coming in. Sorry. Hey, Kimberly. I disconnected for a bit because my daughter just called and I needed to find out what the heck if it was anything important, but it turns out it wasn't. She was just telling me that the her sensor had gone one of her sensors had gone out in her car and she was calling to let me know that it was already fixed and I'm like, okay. Hey Mary, hi Sid. So I am I'm hoping that we won't have any pixelation problems like we did on the members live yesterday. Um, since you're all members, well, it doesn't matter if you're members or not. I can still show things that we're making in members live to non-members, can't I? So we'll probably finish this up next Friday because I think it won't be too hard. There's our sun catcher we were working on yesterday. Like I said, we're going to do on this cloud exactly how we did this cloud, and then I'm going to wire wrap the little crystals of some type all around the cloud. I've got some little gray bicones. I've been thinking maybe that's what we'll wrap around the wire wrap cloud to accent it. Hey, Cindy. So I think that will be fun when we decide to do that. Um, so we'll finish that up hopefully next Thursday. Now we're working on our 3-strand necklace still. We should be able to get it finished today. I finished stringing the beads and then I think I actually strung too much. Here is the one strand, the base strand with our pendant. And then I've got the green strand for next, and it would hang here and here. And as you can see, it's too low. I mean, it's bare, it's right there beside it, but once I get the crimps on, I think this is going to drop it down even a little bit more, so it's going to be too far down. So I think I'm going to take off one round of the green beads so that it'll be up a little higher, so that we can get that being a little more consistently where we want it. It actually will be a little higher than I want, but I don't want it to be too low. So we are going to take off one round of the green beads, and then we will see how it goes with the orange. We'll look at the orange after we get the green done and see if we need to take off some orange too. Since I am taking off a round of the green, will need to take off a round of the orange. Hey, Chris. So I also found some more bronze chain, which is bigger. So then after we get that all figured out and on, we have to make the decision, do we want to use this much bigger bronze chain I found? And if I use this, I would probably only do a simple one strand. Or if we want to use this other style that I have, which if we use it, we would want to double it up because it's a little thinner. Let's see how much this cost. 14.99 divided by, I think it said it was 216 inches. 216. So that's 7 cents an inch for our Rolo, this style of chain. This style I found when I was searching for other things, and I'd say it's something I bought from a buyout of some kind, because it's got it's just wrapped onto a folded hunk of paper here. So I'm not sure how much it costs, but I have it looks like about a meter of it, 3 feet, a little over 3 feet. So that is thick enough that it would make a single chain be fine for the back for it. And that might be what we decide to use. We'll see when we get to that point. So, as I said, here it is, what we have got done right now. And as I said, when I put the green on, I'm thinking that because we're going to have to, I'm going to have to hold it here so you can see what I mean. Once we put the crimps on, it's going to go down. Whoop, it's falling down. London Bridge is falling down. Sorry, not supposed to sing. I'll get in trouble for that. So when we put these on, as you can see, the green is then going to be too low. So I need to take a turn of the green off. And then we'll see how the orange looks once we get that done and on the necklace frame. Come on, sit here. That's a good baby. Anyway, so let's turn down. We'll take the green off, the one turn of green off, and then we'll get this crimped onto the rings, and then we'll compare into the orange, see how it's going, if it needs to have one turn taken off of it also. I suspect that it will. In fact, I know that it will. Once I compare them down here side by side, they're banging each other when we get to that point. So hey, Tina. Hi, Chris. Hi, Marianne. You don't think London Bridge will sue me? That's good. That's very good, because we don't want to do that. So let's turn down. We'll pull the one turn of green off. We'll get it hooked to the rings. Then we're going to compare the orange, which I think, hi, happy Friday to you too, Marianne. And now, Mary, I believe your heart is supposed to come tomorrow when I check the tracking this morning. Sid's has already arrived. Jennifer's mug got there yesterday. Randy's mug is supposed to get there either today or tomorrow. I think today, because it was in St. Paul. And everybody's stuff is coming to them, and I'm so thrilled. I know Sid has confirmed that hers showed up yesterday. I think it was yesterday, or was it day before yesterday? But so that's good. So I was just showing folks the sun catcher we're working on for the members live. We're using the bargain bead box April showers, so we're making a cloud with showers. I have to find the crystal I want to hang off here still. This one, this cloud right here will be identical to this one when it gets finished. And then I'm going to wire wrap little gray bicones all the way around our big cloud here to accent the frame. So there's what she's looking like. I've been having quite a bit of fun making sun catchers lately. I think this is what, the 4th or 5th one in the in the last few weeks. We got our balloon finished into members, the hot air balloon. We finished it in our members live, and I think I made this little guy, the heart. I think we made him on just a regular recorded video. So he turned out real cute. Ladies, this is something to think about if you want to use your heart for a sun catcher. Very easy. Use take and just jump ring a bead strand on either of the loops. Now I made a loop in the bottom of this one because Heather had asked me if you could, and I showed how to do it on this one. But you could just jump ring through the point here with a big jump ring, go over the point to hook a bead strand on. And of course, this is the same thing up here. We've just put this one through the double loops that are up there. So if that's something you're thinking you might want to do with the heart, Sid and Mary, that you won, that is something that's easily done. Now, if you're not a member of my members group and you wish to be, it's $4.99 a month, and we have a members live every Thursday afternoon at 1. Yesterday, unfortunately, it pixelated a bit on us. I suspect it was my internet because, I'm in a neighborhood here, and my internet company once explained to me that, well, the more people that are on the internet in your area, because it's all one line, everybody uses the same line, more or less. The more people that get on, then the less bandwidth you have. So, I used to have a business line because, well, for the very simple reason that the business line is a dedicated line as opposed to a more or less what you'd call a neighborhood line, I guess. And, but it costs quite a bit more. So I had that for when I worked at the Park Service, because I worked from home sometimes and I needed that bandwidth for what I was working on, because I worked in contracting. So anyway, we're gonna turn down and we'll get this the green one, take the turn of green beads off, then we'll get it strung onto the ring, then we'll compare with the orange, see if the orange needs to have a excuse me, a turn off of it also. I'm sure it will, and get it finished, put together, and then we'll put the chain on the back, and then that's it. Well, and the clasp, obviously. So I think we're doing pretty good here with this, thankfully. And so we'll get turned down. We'll get these crimped onto our ring. The first one anyway, we'll take the beads off and get the first one crimped on. Compare the second one, or the third, because this is the second, and see if we need to take a turn of those beads off as well. Then we'll get our chain on and such. So let's turn down and let's get to work. And hopefully we won't do any of that pixelating crap today that we did yesterday. So let's turn. There we go. Oh, she's doing something. I can see that she's being naughty. There we go. We're back to normal then. We may need to do a little more adjusting here. For some reason, my tripod decided it wanted to be a bugger yesterday, and all of a sudden it was rolling wherever it felt like it. And I think it was my side, Marianne. I had to do a little adjusting to my tripod again. I thought I had it set well, but then when I did the StreamYard thing with Heather, it messed it up a little bit. So I'm going to pull a turn of green off here. What have I got on my desk? Interesting. And then we'll get our necklace back down and hook our green on here. It's always best to check things on, because once it's on, it's on. So here we go. Now we're going to put this in the interior of our ring here. We don't want it banging the going over there too much. So I've got some crimp tubes right here. Now it was me. I don't know what's going on with our internet around here lately, but it's I like yesterday during the members live, it kept pixelating, and I have no clue why. Because sometimes it misbehaves, most times it's pretty good. So surprised me yesterday when it was doing that, but you know, and I hope it doesn't do any more stunts today. Part of that is, you know, it's early enough in the morning that a lot of my neighbors aren't home, so I don't have to worry about them taking up the bandwidth as much during the Okay, I think that's in about the right spot. Oh, my knuckles just cracked. That was sort of irritating. Oh, come on, you. Let's turn. The wire keeps turning and going the same way so that it's not crimping into the circle, so I have to... Are you on? I guess so. It was a little bit concerning there for a second. I'm going to cut this extra line off over here. And we'll roll this over to the other side so that we can get this side on over here now. Go on. Had a lot of extra wire here. Surprisingly enough, I don't usually have this much extra. I mean, I usually try to get a little extra, but come on, all the way up. There we go. Make sure that's all rolled down. Check that right here. That looks pretty good. So we'll get in here and crimp this little guy. So there's our 1 and 2 strands on. Flip you. Now it looks further away right now, But once you put it on the neck frame, it's not going to look that far away. And I'm fairly positive we're going to have to take a turn out of the orange as well. Yeah, see, it's banging down into here, so we are going to have to take a turn out. So I will take it from right here. And then we'll get this side crimped on. Come on, baby, go on there. Now again, you want to go into the interior, or the middle. So make sure you have the red, the green, and now our orange wires here. Now I don't think that this second wire will go through our little garnet chip, and if that's the case, then we'll have to crimp it right here by the not even wanting to go through our other. It doesn't feel like. Come on, you guys, go up. Oop. Now this is going to be difficult since I have extra pieces down here. I'm going to pull this baby back off here since it seems to want to not go through my spacer here. And we'll change this spacer out for one of the ones that are right here. Let's see if you're going to go through here. Yep, it will. So, not sure why it was giving me such flack with that, but guess it just didn't want to be a pretty necklace, huh? Yeah, I expected not going to go through the garnet, so that's fine. We'll just pull this baby up to here. Compare it with the lines beside it. Crimp it on this side. Slide these two up, and since it doesn't want to go through the garnet, we're going to trim it right here. And then we'll roll these guys up to this side. Flip to the right way. We'll go up here, and we're going to crimp this guy here. Yeah, it has been a quiet group, hasn't it, Mary? I was just thinking that same thing. I actually just checked my chat to make sure that it was still showing because I was like, huh, not seeing anybody coming through. So now we'll put this one on. And again, it has to go on this side of the green, on the interior side. Okay, make sure she's, excuse me, make sure she's all over there. Tighten her just a bit more so she matches up with her buddies here. Oops, what are we doing here? Something's, oh, it just flipped this direction. Okay. Looks pretty good. So I'll crimp this right here. And cut off this extra wire. And now we're at the point where we have to make the decision on what chain we're going to use. So we have this chunkier chain. Let's pull you guys down here so you can see the chain better when I put it up here. We have this chunkier chain here, which I think would go fine as a single layer. Let's go like this. Or we have haven't opened this yet. Come on, where's your end? There it is. So we have this thinner one, which I think if we use this, we'll want to double it so that it's 2 strands instead of just one to give it that thicker look, since we have a triple strand necklace here. So this is so it would be doubled like so for this side. What do you guys think? The double or the single chunky? Before the chain, what's the length? Just a sec. That's a darn good question, Mary. We would go from the orange one because the orange one is the one that's going to be closest to your neck. You don't want it too close to your neck. So it is to the ring, from the top of the ring to the bottom of the beads, it's going to be 16 inches. So we probably only need like 4 to 6 inches, depending on how long we want it. Cindy thinks the single larger chain. Anybody have any other thoughts? I think either would work. So it's one of those 6 of ones, half a dozen of the others to me. But since it's going to mainly be around the back of your neck, I'm not atrociously worried about what we go with. Mary likes the larger chain as well. Okay, let's go with the larger chain. And because we are at 16 here from ring to, and I want about what, 22 to 24 inches probably. I'm thinking 20 would be 4 inches, so it would just be 3 inches of chain on either side. Or we could go or I should say 20 would be 2 inches of chain on either side because we'd only need another 4. But if we wanted to go up to 24 inches, I think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wrap this around my neck, pull my hair out of the way, and see where it comes back to, so that how long it comes back to hit my collarbones, because that's where I want the rings to hit, is somewhere around the collarbones. So about that long. Whoa, that's more than I thought. That's going to be, yeah, that's almost a foot. I don't think we want that much. That seems like too much. I think I'm going to put 4 inches on either side, maybe. That would be 24. So hey, Dorothy. So I'm going to go with 4 inches on either side. So we're going to cut it right here. And I'm going to see if this is welded or if I can open it. I might just be able to open it. And if I can, that'd be great, because then I wouldn't have to jump ring it onto the rings. We could just, yeah, it will open good. Is this the 4 or was that the 4? I guess it is close enough. It wouldn't make that much difference. But let's see how long I need to make it. Well, let's just put this side on here since it's already open. Okay, it's got not quite closed. There we go. There we go. Now we want 4 inches for this side too, so we'll take it off about right here. Bing. I'm going to take my chain and I'm going to compare it and see if I need this last ring I opened for over here, or if this is plenty. Since this is a nice chunky chain, I don't have to worry about holding it up. That's fine. So we'll just close this ring back up and put this chain away. There we go. Over to the side with you. Now we'll open up this link on this one. Put it on here. Oops, I may have done an error right there because I let this sink to the other side. And now it doesn't want to roll. Come on, will you roll over? There we go. But I noticed it's not quite closed. I kept seeing some air through there. So we want to get that closed. It's better. Come on. Roll the right way there. There we go. So in the middle. Nope, you're the outer edge right here. Okay, how do you have this all twisted up? because I do have it twisted up. Oops. Down, down, down. Over, down. Outer, inner, inner, outer. There we go. Had her twisted there for a second. There we go. Now the last decision to make is what kind of clasps do we want to use on this baby? I have lobsters. I don't think I have an Old Faithful this color. No, those are gold and silver. I take it back. There's, oh dear. Oh, I see what you mean. It just froze off just a second ago. I can see it going. Come on, unfreeze. There we go. So it's not obviously going to be a lot. It's just going to go around the back. And we need to decide if I want a lobster claw here or if I want a if I want to use the Old Faithful, which we could use, no problem. Old Faithful. Okay, we'll go with the Old Faithful. That's no problem by me. Well, it's no problem if I can get to find the end of the package here. I need to get these put away into one of my cases. Bing. Come on, baby. Come down. There we go. Now, this is one of the smaller ones, but I think it'll be all right. It's pretty, things are pretty sturdy, so I'm not too worried about it. So we'll hook this baby onto here. I don't think I have a bigger one anyway. No, I only have bigger ones in gold and silver, so we'll get some jump rings out here. I think I'm going to use the bigger ones because our chain is pretty big anyway, and hold it. It'll be stronger as far as holding the clasp is concerned. Yeah, packaging, it can be the bane of your existence, can't it? So I could have tried just opening the link and putting on the Old Faithful onto the chain, but these links are a little square, so I wasn't sure about them fitting on the Old Faithful opening here. So for those of you who don't watch Randy Brown, though I'm pretty sure most of our viewers are Randy Brown viewers as well, an Old Faithful is a ball and socket. So there we go. She's fun. So it looks like I got a little kink in the chain here, so we'll open our ball and socket up and straighten our chain up here. There we go. So there we go. She's all finished. We'll put her on the bus before we leave, and so you can see what she looks like there at the very ending. There it goes. Old Faithful is a ball and socket. See, it's got a ball and socket here. And it just pulls off and slides into it. Sort of like your hip joints. Is Beth here? So there we go. She's finished. I think she turned out pretty nice. I'm pleased with it. Like I said, we'll put it back on the bust and I'll show it to you at the end of the show so you can see what it looks like all the way. Right now, since we have about 20 minutes, I figured I'd get out my, oh, it looks nice. I like it. I just put it on the, on the bust. So I figured I'd get out my Sam's order, that my last one I got from Sam's, and we'd take a look at all these goodies that I got from Sam's. I'll have to put those up in a minute. But here's my wonderful goodies here. So this is not the first thing on my list. This is probably about midway down my list, but this is my favorite thing on the list. The first thing on the list is Sodalite large hole beads. They're right here. They cost $14.95. Sam's tends to be a little bit more expensive, and I try to get things from them when they're on sale. But they have some really prime beads. Theirs are usually like AA strand. So this is the Sodalite large hole. Come on, focus there, baby. So my tablet's showing quite a lag today too, from what I'm seeing. So there is the Sodalite large hole. I think they're really pretty. And it's always nice to have a large hole bead for like when you're doing leather and stuff. And this is on a hunk of leather. So I know that they'll go through a nice piece of leather. So there we go. That's the Sodalite large hole for $14.95 for a 15-inch strand, which they even tell you it's 54 pieces, which is nice. Because that way when you're pricing things out per bead, you don't have to go count all your beads. They've already told you. So that's really nice. So that's the Sodalite large hole. Next on my list is Amazonite Smooth 8mm Some Surface Interruptions. There they are. Now, this just says Amazonite Smooth round 8mm 15-inch strand for $7.95. I think this is actually probably flower Amazonite because it's got all the other colors and things in it. But I think it's pretty. So I don't get Sam's bead box because it's a little too spendy for my blood. Though, like I said, I usually don't buy a lot of stuff from Sam's because unless they have things on sale or something I really want, because, you know, they are a little spendy. But like these, I really wanted those, so I paid the price for those. And frankly, their last sale yesterday, they had lots of good stuff on, and I think I paid like, I bought like $150 worth of stuff, which I'm telling myself to stop doing that, but you know, it's hard to do that. Now, this is one of the few glass pieces I get from Sam's. This was $4.95. Actually, it wasn't. It was on sale for $4.20. It says $4.95 on the bag, but it was on sale for $4.20 when I bought it. And this is 10 by 11 bicones with with gold. They're teal with a gold wash in the grooves that they've got. Really pretty. Oh, I'm sorry, Mary. I don't know what to tell you. Mine's going up fine right now. My tablet, because I'm watching on my tablet as I'm recording. Next on my list is Hammer Shell Freeform Hishis for $6.95. These little Hishi beads. They're shell. They're not very big, of course, but they're cute and they're great for if you want something small into some spot. Hishis are wonderful. Or you can even just take a Hishi, stick a small spacer between another Hishi. It makes a really neat looking strand of stuff. So yeah, exactly, Dorothy. I can't afford their subscription box either because it's just too expensive. But they have some of the nicest beads. So, like I said, when I go on the live sale, I'll make myself behave as much as possible. It's hard for me to make myself behave because, hey, I love these things too much. And this is what they call these green moonstone. I've heard people call them green Larimar. I've heard people call them green angelite. Whatever, they're stunning. These were $35 for this strand of 20 pieces, so they're over $1 a piece for the beads, but these are 20 millimeter, and they're just so pretty that I couldn't resist. You know, there's every once in a while there's one of those beads that you just see and you go, oh, you don't care how much it costs, gotta have it. And that was me with these. So these are stunning. Yeah, that's me too, Dorothy. A lot of times I won't watch the live sales because I don't have my my restraint is at a low ebb generally. Like I watch Softflex's live sale every once in a while. I used to buy a lot of stuff from them, and their live sales. I don't watch them very often anymore because if I watch, I buy. And so number 6 is white topaz faceted irradiated 3 millimeter beads, and these were $14.50, and they're tiny for what you're getting. Obviously, says there's 135 pieces on here, but dang, aren't they pretty? Look at those. Those are white topaz. So I think they're really lovely. Another one of those, really, Rose, why did you do that? You shouldn't have done that. You know that's expensive. But, you know, what can I say? Next is the amethyst faceted freeform coins for $10.95. I love amethyst beads. These are 8 to 9.5 millimeter. They're coin, they're faceted, they're amethyst, and they're a really good purple on those. So, jerky. Well, I'm sorry. Come on, focus that there, baby. Sorry, guys. I do not know what's going on with that. And there it's going to the. Come on, focus. I don't know what it's trying to do here. Come on, focus. I was hoping it wouldn't do this again. I'm not sure what it's doing lately with my internet. I may have to contact the company. But come on, let's see the amethyst, brat. Because now if I'm looking in my phone and my camera where we're doing the recording at, it's perfect. I can see it perfectly. But if I look at my tablet, it's all pixelated. So obviously it's doing something with my internet. I may go out of my tablet and come back and see if that helps. If it does, I'll let you guys know. No, she's still pixelated. I do not understand what it is doing here. Yeah, I think it's the connection. I think you're right with that one. Oh, there she comes back. There she is. So there is my amethyst. Come on, baby, lift up. My tablet said it got a lag to my phone, so it's really pretty amethyst coins. So those were $10.95. I actually thought to myself later, you should have got 2 of the amethyst coins and not got the little white topaz, because you're more likely to use the amethyst coins than the white topaz. And then I thought, no, you won't, because you'll use at the very least, the white topaz. They're going to go on to a circlet or, something like that. So no, I'll use them. Next is Kambaba Jasper puffed coins and squares for $8.95. It's only a 16-inch strand, so we're looking at like over 50 cents a bead. But check these out. They're half squares and with rounds every once in a while. It looks like I have more squares than rounds in mine, which I personally would have preferred more rounds, but they're pretty, so I'm not going to complain. I don't know if you can see the patterning on those really well. The patterning is just fun. So no problem at all, Heather. So that's the Baba Jasper square and rounds. And then my last thing I got from Sam's was I cannot pronounce this. Brisseated Jasper smooth rounds, 8.3 millimeter with a lovely polish, 15.5-inch strand with approximately 50 beads. So, I'm losing all those little pieces I pulled off the necklace. Now, I wasn't sure about these, and I was like, did you really want those? I mean, but they got such cool patterning on these beads. So that was my last strand I got from this order from Sam's. But like I said, yesterday I was naughty and went a little wild and spent like $150 worth of things. And it really isn't even all that many strands. And I always usually buy strands. So it was strands. But I'm always afraid if I just buy the pieces, that they sell individually, that, well, not individually, they usually sell like 8 or 9 at a time. And I'm always afraid that I'll decide I want to make something with them and then I won't have enough, so I always want a strand, sometimes 2 or 3 strands. Hey guys, I'm back, but now my tripod's acting weird. It's locking, it's wanting to drop it, but There, maybe I got it tight enough. Let's see. Okay. Well, I thought I did, but now it wants to slip again. There we go. So that was weird. My tripod's acting a little funky, which is weird because it's the brand new tripod, of course. For some reason, it wants to loosen and slip, and I don't understand that at all. I may have to change something here one of these days soon. We'll see. But anyway, so that's was all my beads from Sam's. I was debating showing you my live sell stuff from Softlex, but things are being a little funky. Oops, sorry. See, my tripod's slipping for some reason. I have to find out what that problem is and get it fixed. Here's our necklace, all finished. Get it between that light so you don't have it glaring there. But I think it turned out pretty cool. So my tripod has been loosening itself since we did the show the other day, and I had to change its angle, and now it doesn't want to behave anymore. So I've got to figure out what that problem is. So that I can stop it doing that, because it's something in the connection here. I may have to change the connection, but I have two connections, so I can take one of them out and it should be all right, hopefully, but we'll see. Anyway, we have probably, I don't know if we've hit our hour or not because it restarted, so now it's recounting. Thanks, Georgina. I'm glad you like it. I think it turned out really nicely. I think we're going to call it a day because I obviously need to figure out what's going on with my tripod as well as my internet. And, well, it says we only started 51 minutes ago, so we have another 8 minutes. If I can get my tripod to behave, we can look at my Softlex order too if we want to. What do you think, guys? I probably can get it to behave from the other direction, but... Anyway, let's turn back down to the mat, see if I can get the to behave down there. And if I can, we'll look at my Softlex order too. It's not a very large one. I only got a few things. See, now it behaves this direction. It just wants to drop from the other side. So it's just a small order that I got, like about 6 items, 5 actually. And when you get a live sell things, you always get a free little bead mix. So I've got these, and there's quite a few little large hole beads in here. So this might be fun for doing a leather necklace with. But when you get them, some of the pieces that they think are more delicate, they wrap them up nicely in tissue for you. And I really went for in this bunch of stuff. And I normally wouldn't because they're pretty expensive. But first thing I got was these little red vintage, German vintage glass. They were just $3, so I had no problem going for those. I thought they were cool looking. So there's those. And then they were these little tiny strands of pink rondelles for $1 a piece for these little strands. So they've had a lot of these. The last 2 or 3 live sales that I've bought stuff from, I actually bought 1 or 2 strands of those. So I have quite a few strands of those little pink ones. But like I said, I only bought a few other things besides those. But those things were citrine chunks. There's only 3, and they cost me, how much did the citrine chunks cost me? $7 for the 3 pieces. But look at those. Aren't those gorgeous? And they're big. This one's got quite a few inclusions in it, whereas this one's almost clear. Um, but the chunks are about 3/4 of an inch long for the smaller one there, and this bigger one is almost a full inch. So I think these will make a really fun focal. Or if I could put all three of them in on a necklace with some beads in between them. But these are from Softlex, from one of their live sales, Chris. So that is the citrine chunks. And I only have 2 other things, but oh, are those things fun? Vintage 10mm vintage German AB crystals. Aren't those stunners? Now those were the most expensive things. They were $24 for this strand of just 10 pieces, so they're like $2.40 a piece. But dang, they're stunners. Aren't those just gorgeous? I fell in love with those and couldn't resist, even though the price was pretty high. And lastly, I got some Larimar nuggets. $14.25 for these, but they are really pretty nuggets, and they're definitely Larimar. You can definitely see the patterning on the Larimar patterning in this, even though there's quite a bit of matrix around some of them, but they're still really, really pretty. But yeah, exactly, Chris. These are really expensive, but most of the things, well, these two are pretty really inexpensive, but the 3 upper ones were pretty darned expensive all in all, generally more than I would pay for stuff, but I was like, oh no, gotta have those, even if I don't only get a few things, gotta have those. So um, I really debated the citrines because, like I said, this was $7 for just 3 chunks. And again, I debated the crystals, the German vintage crystals, because 21 for 10. So, that's $2.10 per bead, but dang, they're so pretty. Oh, they were, yeah, $21. I was thinking they were 24, but they were 21. So a little less, but not much. But boy, look at the sparkle on those. And then, of course, like I say, the Larimar, which was $14.25 uh, for the little strand, which has 7 beads on it. So they're a little over 50 cents a piece, but they're so pretty. So anyway, that's my Softlex order. We'll wrap that back up. And like I said, my free beads here that I got from them have a lot of large hole beads in here. So these will be great with leather things. And frankly, I got that large hole strand of sodalite from Sam's. Could combine them up a bit with these. I think every one of the beads in here is large hole, to be truthful with you. But anyway, I think they're cool. I was really pleased with this order. And like I said, when I opened up this package from my little free gift here that they include with a live order, and it was all blue large hole beads, I thought, that's cool. You want some Larimar? Yeah, it's really pretty. And I don't usually get Larimar because it is so spendy, but I really loved this. I thought, $14.25 is not atrocious for even if it is just a little strand of nuggets. So I went for them. And I know citrine is not a cheap date kind of bead. So I enjoyed getting those as well. So that's my Softlex order. And we looked at my Sam's order a minute ago. I think my camera's been behaving better since we came back on. I could be wrong, but I haven't seen it pixelate at all lately. So that's the Softlex order, and of course this was my Sam's order for those who didn't see them very well. We had the appreciated Jasper, the Kambaba Jasper, the hammer shell Hishi, large hole sodalite. Like I said, that'll go well with those. These carved bicones. The one thing of glass that I sometimes get from Sam's is the something like that. We had the topaz, the amazonite, which I believe is flower amazonite, and the coin amethyst, and these absolutely gorgeous, whatever you want to call them. They called them green moonstone. I've heard them called green Larimar, and I've had them called green angelite, but I think these are a stunning bead. So there's all my bead orders lately, other than, of course, my bargain bead box, which we opened the other day. So here we go. Hasn't that been fun? So we'll put these back in the baggie, and until I get them put away, I have to go put these over with my gemstones that I haven't got finished going through yet. So these will go in with my tiny beads. But I think they are really, really pretty. I was pleased with both my orders when they showed up. And so I think these are great. Now, let's see if I can get this to behave and while we turn up again. Like I say, if it doesn't start behaving, I'm going to have this tripod to the other link. Oh, now it's going to behave. Great, no problem. Uh-oh, we just pixelated again. Stop that. I don't know why it's doing that. Has to be something in the neighborhood. But anyway, there's our finished necklace. So I think it turned out really nicely. So the Larimar. Oh yeah, I love Larimar, but it is bendy, and I have to watch those kind of things, but sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends on my willpower at the time I see what I see. But there's our necklace all finished, and we've looked at my Sam's and my Softlex orders, live sale orders, so that we got recently. So there we go. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and I think we've had a pretty productive day today, even with the stupid pixelating of my internet, and hopefully it will stop doing that. And oops, I just almost dropped our necklace here. Don't want to do that. And you have some perfect beads to go with the amethyst that are not too horribly expensive, Heather. That's cool. You'll think you'll have to wait till your bead budget re-ups, huh, Chris? Yeah, I tell myself to stop it all the time. I have one credit card that I use for buying beads, and it's a lot higher up than it should be. I need to get it paid down. Especially since I'm going to Lincoln City in a couple of weeks, and I always hit 3 bead stores, sometimes 4 when I'm down there. And so So I told myself you have to behave the rest of the month so that you have more money when you get to the point where you're going to be down in Lincoln City at the bead stores down there. And so you can go a little more wild down there and you know, I don't listen to myself. I'm naughty. I love my beads. So anyway, I think we're going to go for the day. I have to think of something to record for our video for tomorrow because I haven't done anything. Actually, I'm thinking of working with the beads that I got from Randy for helping her out. I think I showed everybody those, the Tibetan, the big, huge strand of big, huge Tibetan beads and the little turquoise chips. They're right here. I have an idea for, I'm not going to use them all. Let's face it, this strand of beads was atrociously expensive. I don't know what she was thinking buying them for me. Not that I mind. I mean, because they're beads that I normally would never have thought of to buy for myself, but they're expensive. So anyway, these nice chunks and then some turquoise bits. And I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to take at least one, maybe two of these big pieces. And what I'm going to do is I've got some turquoise discs. Hi, Beth, and we're just about done. Anyway, I'm thinking I'll take one of these, and I've got some turquoise discs in different sizes, and I'm thinking I'll put the first one right beside it in a big spacer and go and make like a little bit of a strand of beads and then just put it on a chain. I was also thinking of taking one of the smaller ones and dropping it down below on a little bit of chain and then stringing strings of like the turquoise nuggets down from that. So we'll see what I decide to do, but I'm thinking of I might do that because I think that would be really cool. But it won't be a cheap date because this strand is really expensive. But I really, that's what Randy sent me for helping her out while she was at her wedding and while she was off having to deal with all of her issues with her pregnancy and after her baby passed away. So I thought that was really sweet of her. I wasn't expecting anything. I told her she didn't need to do anything, but she did, obviously. So there is that. That's true, Beth. No matter how old they are, they're always your babies. So anyway, ladies, I am going to go take a little break, and then I will get me some water or make some tea or something, and then I'm going to record the video with the other and put my Softlex stuff away since I don't want to chip those really expensive crystals or do any damage to my Larimar citrine either for that matter. But I am thinking the citrine, instead of having a different style of focal, we could take the citrine, put the biggest one in the middle, string some other bead, put some other beads between, and put these two chunks on the end up a little higher with some other, I have other citrine with smaller beads, of course, that we could put in. And I'm debating what would look good with citrine as far as other gemstones are concerned, or other color. And putting that up the line. These citrines have one pretty flat side, so I could try and make sure they stay that way. But they're so pretty. And I think they'll make a stunning necklace with, like I say, the biggest one in the middle, some corresponding beads up the sides, and then these two big chunks up a little higher. And then I think that'll be really pretty. So anyway, ladies, I think we're going to call it a day. I think we've had a productive day. I showed you, like I said, I showed you my two latest live sale orders, the one from Softlex and the one from Sam's. And we finished up our necklace, and I think it turned out pretty nicely. I'm pleased with it. So I'll have to post a picture for Randy since um, she sent me those beads as well. Now, she did ask that when I use these beads, I let folks know that these beads, everything, the donut, the dragonfly, all of the beads, um, the venturine, the carnelian, and the garnets were all from her Earth's Awakening collection on her website, thunderhorsedescendant.biz. So if you're interested in any of those beads, that's where you'd find them. And I, I, the last time I checked, it's been a few days, but the last time I checked, I think she had everything left, but I'm not positive now because I haven't checked for a few days. So anyway, I hope everybody has a good weekend and a lovely rest of the day. And it actually looks like it might be sunny out here today, so that'll be nice. If it gets above, 58, 60, I'll open my door and turn my heat down so that I can get some wonderful fresh air into the house. So that'll be nice. So this has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we'll see you live next Monday, same time. Bye-bye.